Okay, so you should be able to hear me now. Things why we're a bit late starting. We're just trying to get things set up. It was a bit complicated. 29th of May, it's 10:28 a.m. Central European Summertime. I'm Ben Newman. I'm going to be your host this morning. Now I'm going to get straight on with things. If anyone's it's their first time joining us, let me know throughout the session here, and I can give you some advice on the parameters of the software, what they mean, and so on. I think most of you, I can't see who's in attendance, but looking at the list before we started, most of you have attended before or had some kind of training, so you understand your way around the software a bit. Now, what I'm going to do is go straight to our charts. We've got the London market opening any minute, so let's go and select some of these GBP currencies. Now, it looks like the pound is very weak today, so we're going to focus on that. We have a look at these different trends. Everything against the pound very weak, so that's where I'm going to focus my attention, because if we see a strengthening pound after London opens, then it's going to put us in a very good position. So I've set those all up with their signals. I'm going to go to my charts and have a look at what we can draw from this gain against the pound today. So we're looking at, there we go, so we can see how strong the yen has been. So let's just tee these up so we can get a trade on if we need to. And I'm just going to do a few different currencies, because that way we can really spread our risk across different currencies. Now I'm expecting a possibility of the pound to get stronger when London opens. So we're just going to see if that occurs. So I'm just getting things set up so we can accommodate some of that movement as and when it happens. So we can see here on the GBP USD, this is continuing to head down. So let's just have a look on an M1 chart. I'm going to change these to M1, so we're not going to focus on signals at the moment, just on what the movement is. Okay, so you can see it's kind of flattened out, and this is where we want to take advantage really. GBP CHF. So there, yeah, we can see it's really flattened out somewhat. So I'm just going to get these changed so we can see these on an M1 chart. It's very much flattened out, as you can see. So we'll just wait for whatever movement occurs as a result of the London market opening. So I'm just going to get all of our focus set up so we can take advantage of that GBP movement. I think the most likely one for me at the moment, that's not giving me GBP JPY, so we'll go with GBP USD. The most likely one to be predictable is a GBP JPY, and that's because the Japanese market's just closed, and that gives us a bit more of an advantage when it opens. This one's offering it, so we'll get that set up. There we go. And we're just going to wait and see what happens with this movement. On this one, we'll just have a look, see GBP USD, I think, probably going to be the one to focus on. So let's get that teed up as well. Now we can see, as I predicted, the pound is starting to strengthen. So it may be that our Optionbot chart has just, no, it hasn't stopped. There we go. So it still looks flat there. So let's just have a look and see. There's definitely a bit of movement in favour of the pound against the US dollar. So we're just going to go through, keep an eye on these. You can see that is slowly starting to rise. So I'm going to have a quick look at the data on the G7 meetings and see if there's any update on that as well. Because I think that probably is what is causing this movement here. So let's see if there's any. So nothing's come out recently regarding that, certainly this morning, so we're not seeing any definite movement just yet. That's what we want to keep an eye out for, is this pound starting to strengthen. There it is starting to strengthen now, or the euro is starting to strengthen against the pound. Nothing really happening on the GBP USD. So unfortunately, when there's this much lack of movement, it could well be that we're in a position where we can start trading this, but at the moment it's not giving us anything at all. So I'm just going to change this to the Euro GBP here. Again, just tee it up in case we do want to place a trade. At the moment, it looks like the pound is weakening, but we'll keep an eye on that. Yeah, the pound is definitely weakening initially. This may be that it will come back, so I'm not going to be hasty in placing this trade just yet. We're not getting signals on this at the moment because it's on M1. It's fairly normal. Let's see if it's not. The only thing that, well, just waiting for this to change. I think things are going quite slowly on the charts because we can see that the pound is definitely weakening, but that tells me that probably it's going to start going up again in a minute. And when it does, we can probably capture that movement. So we're just holding on for this. If anyone's got any questions regarding what I'm doing here, at the moment, Morris, none. Yeah, so we're just holding on to see what effects the London market opening has on the pound pairings. So we're not trading any at the moment. We're looking at all GBP pairings. We're looking at a reaction to London market opening, but at the moment there's none. You can see it's just stayed completely flat. The euro's gained a little bit against it. Unfortunately, our charts just aren't changing, which is rather frustrating. But so it's dropped a little bit, but you know, away from the pound. But we want to see that movement kind of continue a bit more consistently. It certainly looks like the pound has started weak. You can see here the US dollar starting to pull away now, as is the euro, just slightly in the other direction. So this is, seeing if we can get our charts running here. They're not, and that's very typical around market opening. Very frustrating, but yes, we can see definitely the pound continuing to weaken. But is this set to continue? I'm just going to leave it for the time being because it's not really a massive movement, but it's definitely now starting to establish itself in a downward movement. So I think once I get a chance to monitor these charts again, we're going to have a look and see if we can. Yeah, it's just not letting me view them at the moment, but these are definitely going down now. So I think I'm going to slowly start placing my trades. If these trends continue, we'll be in a good position on all of these. You can see here, definitely strengthening against the pound now, and it's starting to accelerate in that momentum. So obviously with the euro GBP, you're placing in the other direction because you're going in favour of the pound. The only one that isn't as certain at the moment is the Swiss franc. So I'm just going to hold fire on that one. In fact, it's probably worth changing that to the GBP JPY. I can see this is continuing on down. So let's get a trade placed on this. It certainly looks like the GBP USD and the GBP JPY are the ones that are offering the best potential at the moment. So that's what I'm doing. Yeah. So well, I'm going away from the GBP, Morris. So if it's GBP USD, it's going to be a put, and if it's Euro GBP, it's going to be a call. Okay, I can certainly say that was a put trade. GBP USD put 9 o'clock, okay, or 9 GMT. A GBP JPY a put trade. All right, so you've got to remember that if it's the primary pair that we're following, so GBP USD, it's definitely the GBP JPY that's showing the most potential here. Let's just go back to our chart. At the moment, we cannot gauge what is going on. Really frustrating, but that's fairly typical of quite a lot of movement there. So what we've got here, put trades, basically following the. I'm going to place another one here. This is a put trade, GBP USD again, a put trade. Okay, so we're going away from the pound, and it's just start to move back a bit now. The pound's starting to strengthen. Let's hope we haven't. And now the pound really starting to strengthen. So it could be that it's a poor start to the day. I don't want to speak too soon, but certainly that looks like it's starting to rise now. They're pretty sure that the pound was going to. It may just be short-lived this, but I did think beforehand that the pound would strengthen, and indeed now it looks like it's starting to do that, unfortunately. So do we cut our losses and start following the pound? Such a shame I didn't wait, but I thought I'd waited long enough with that 8 minutes in, and it does look like now it may come back, so I'm not going to speak too soon. There's no news on the pound at the moment with regard to whether it's strong or weak, and that's the danger with these G7 meetings, is that you don't get sure information. It's not certain information that you're getting. It's kind of fed through the press, and they're just leaking little bits of information on what's going on. I'm sure that's what's causing this movement here, but it hasn't gone too far the other way, so it may well be that this comes back. It certainly looks like, you know, if a currency market opens and it opens that weak for that long, nearly 10 minutes into market opening, the chance of it sustaining any strength once it turns are minimal, but at the moment it does look like it's doing that. So let's just see how this continues. Maybe that we need to, yeah, so this is in favour of the US dollar and the JPY looking the stronger, or certainly look the strongest of the currencies, but they're coming back now, so I don't want to speak too soon and go in and rush into sort of cancelling these, because they are changing direction. And here we go, it does look like now the pound is weakening, so let's just hope it does that across the board, because that's where our trades are placed. We've now got 8 trades placed, all of them against the GBP, and they're just starting to move in the right direction for us now. I made a prediction that the pound was going to sustain a weakness after it opened, because we looked at, well, almost 7 minutes in and it was still looking weak, and typically as soon as I placed those trades it changed direction, but now it didn't change direction for long, and it's now turned back, and it looks like we're in a position where all of these are looking good for us. So I'm just going to have a look at the GBP JPY. Oh, we haven't got that on here. The GBP USD, which I think is what we've got this trade placed on. Yeah, it is. So let's have a look at the Euro GBP. And we should be able to see what's happening with that now. So, yeah, so indeed the Euro is starting to strengthen against the pound. So this is the other trade. This will be my final trade for today. I'm just going to have a look at it on the Optionbot chart if I can. It's frustrating that this is not changing, but it just isn't. There we go. No, it is. We've got it back. So let's have a look at an M5 chart on Optionbot. There we can see, so the Euro strengthening is kind of leveled a bit, and I think this is going to continue to strengthen over time. Let's have a look. It's gone very flat, so we're just waiting to see what happens with this, but I think we're going to be in a fairly good position to place this in favour of the Euro, but it has been quite flat for quite a long time. It could be that the GBP JPY is a better option. Yeah, so hopefully you've managed to keep up with what I've been doing. A bit erratic, and things are still moving around quite a lot, but I don't think our trades are in too bad a shape now. The yen and the US dollar look like they're strengthening against the pound, as does, yeah, that's the US dollar trade. And then we've got the Euro, which is just weakened a little bit against the pound. The GBP JPY, which we need the pound to weaken a bit more, but the pound looks like it's strengthening against the Euro. So GBP JPY there, and they're just sitting around a level point now, which shows that the pound is weak, and I think it will continue to weaken. So I'm going to place this final trade on the Euro GBP. It's going to be a call trade, Euro GBP, so I'm going in favour of the Euro. It's a call trade, and again, my expiry time of 9 o'clock. Okay, so there I've now got 8 trades placed. If you notice, I'm trading with 4 brokers. If you've got 5 available, please do use 5. The only reason I'm using 4 is because 5 tends to slow the software down. It can impact your viewing, so I want to avoid that. So let's just see what happens now. In all honesty, the pound could go any way here, but I've committed myself to the pound weakening, and now the euro looks like it's picking up against it. But the pound is strengthened against the USD and the JPY. So strangely enough, we've got a strengthening euro against the pound. Everything else is weakening. So at the moment, it's really hard to tell because these are moving around. They're sitting around the same level. We can see here that the pound has started to strengthen against the euro. So I'm hoping it's not a poor start to the day. We can see here from the point that the London market opened, the pound just started to weaken for about 10 minutes, and now, well, it's very difficult to tell. It's just sitting around the same level. So we've just got to hope that the pound does weaken a bit more. It's certainly not strong, the pound, because otherwise it would have opened stronger. You would have seen it gain a lot quicker when the London market opened. But something is holding it back. I don't know what. We can't see in the G7 meetings at the moment what's going on. So we've just got to wait and see what happens. The euro now starting to strengthen against the pound, which is good. And then we've got our other ones. Here goes the US dollar starting to strengthen against the pound as well. So we should see, I'm fairly confident we'll see these come in. We've got another 15 minutes on them, and we're getting towards the area where we're in the green on all of them now as well. So it looks like the pound's weakness will continue. It's just taking a little while for these currencies to kind of take hold, but it certainly looks like they are now, particularly the euro leading the way on that. We're back in the green on this one, so all of these looking good. I know a lot of you will have had have you replicated my trades? Has anyone replicated my trades today? Just so I know, it's always good for me to get feedback on that. Yeah, okay, so yeah, Jeff, I bet, okay. So but your heart was probably in your mouth there because you just thought, my God, it's going the wrong way. But I'm telling you, the pound is weak because when a market opens, if it hasn't even got the ability to move in the direction of the market that backs it, then it is in a weak position. It's just a case of the time it takes for those currencies to take hold. It's taken a little longer than expected, but it is starting to do that now. There we go. So we're seeing these just creep into the green now. There we go. So those two, these two as well, just coming into the area where we need them to. There we go. So we can see most of these in the green now. Just the JPY ones to come into the green as well. And it looks like they're doing that now. There you go. There's the first one. So we've now got a situation where all but 2 of them are in a successful position for us. There we go. So it's only one of them now. We've got 2, just the GBP JPY trades that are not in that successful position. We've got another 13 minutes on these, so really not a lot to worry about, I don't think. So that's looks like it's worked out all right for us. We're going to have a look at the GBP JPY. That's continuing down. We can see here. All right, Wong, well, that's your choice. I think maybe the pound might come back by then, but we'll see. I was basing this around market opening, but it is your choice at the end of the day, you know, how you place your trades. We can see here the JPY is still pulling this pound down, and the GBP CHF, which I didn't place any trades on. Let's have a look. Well, there you go. That's interesting because had I placed trades on the GBP CHF, we'd be in a really strong position now. And in fact, it may not be too late to do that. So I'm just going to have a look at an M1. view of this, and it is still continuing down. So we'll see whether we can get a trade on the GBP CHF. Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is continuing down. I don't know whether it's going to give me, it is giving me an option on this. So I'm going to get some trades placed on the GBP CHF here, because this is continuing to move down. So very strong movement on that. And I didn't pay any attention to it because usually it's very erratic, but in this instance it looks like a very good trade. So these are GBP CHF put trades now that I'm placing, because that looks like a very strong movement indeed. There we go. So the pound now starting to strengthen against the yen. So we're running out of time on this, but certainly the Swiss franc is holding strength. So it looks like the euro currencies, the Swiss franc and the euro, are holding strength on the pound. The US and JPY are not. So that's yeah, Wong, you may be alright on the euro GBP. I think they're the only ones that are really holding strength. The yen and US dollars we can see here have just taken a massive comeback, and that's, we can see that this is really strange because the GBP is strengthening against the JPY, but not against the dollar, and that is unusual. Well, I did say that the pound would come back. It's just a case of when. We can see that's flattened out now. We've got a few trades here. That GBP CHF very strong, as is the euro. So we're probably going to get half of our trades coming in as it looks at the moment, but well, a few more than half actually. But I think these will come back. We can see that the Swiss franc's really taking off now, and that should lead the way for the others. And it's just really the US dollar and the yen that have made a sudden comeback here, but it is heading back down now, so not too much to worry about. I don't think it was just a bit of a fright that it suddenly they changed direction like that. Overall, these are weak. GBP CHF is a put, yeah, but they're seeing quite a lot of movement. It's still going down rapidly at the moment, but obviously the whole point is to place that trade so we get the advantage of that movement, rather than placing it at the bottom of that movement. That's really the key to it. So hopefully you're still in time to do that, Jeff. It is dropping like a stone at the moment, so still good to place that. I think it really is going down very fast, and hopefully that will lead the way for the other currencies as well, because we've still got 9 minutes on the other ones. Unfortunately, our JPY and US dollar trades, very unfortunate. There was just that movement up there, very sudden. It's now carrying on back down, but that sudden movement has just pushed it away from where we need it to be, which is a real shame. But it looks like we're going to get a high percentage of our trades coming in anyway. It's just these US dollar and JPY trades that at the moment are looking uncertain. That GBP CHF is continuing to fall. So the other ones should follow. We've got another 9 minutes on them. So hopefully they'll be in the money as well. So we've got at the moment 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 trades in the money, and 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got 6 trades out of the money as well, so exactly half and half. And so we just pound is continuing to weaken now. We can see that the US dollar's picking up against it. I mean, the GBP CHF does move around quite erratically, so you've got 12 trades in total. Okay, Barrett, no problem at all. I think I've got the same. So that's right, yeah, 6 of each. So we're just waiting for this US dollar to take hold. This is the direction it's going in now against the pound. It is moving in the same direction. There was just that blip, and the yen is holding strength now. The pound is holding strength against the yen now. So it may mean that those ones don't come in, but the other ones are all looking good. So it's not too bad at all. Here goes the Swiss franc again. And we've got the US dollar is, the pound's just holding strength against that as well. So yeah, unfortunately, it's the US dollar and the JPY that's let us down here. The other ones have been very good, and it is unusual that we're seeing such an extreme loss of the GBP against the well, it's because they're in Europe, I think, the Swiss franc and the euro, but not against the US and the yen. But we've still got a bit of time, so hopefully these will drop into a position where they're going to give us a result. There we go, this one's back in the green now, so it's just hovering around the position we need it to. There we go, US dollar here, just getting to the point where it'll be in the green there. That's in the green as well now. So let's just go through and have a look at all of our trades. So they are getting towards the point where they're going to be in the money. The only one that's sort of a long way away now is the yen, unfortunately. The US dollar's coming to the money. But that puts us very firmly in profit, which is fine by me. But it looks like the yen is following suit now as well. So you can see here that almost all of them in the money. We're just waiting for the yen to pick up and take hold of this trend, which it should follow the US dollar. We can see the pattern of movement is very similar, so that means it says to me that this will start coming down as well. We've got another 6 minutes for it to do that, and we should be in the money on all of them. So quite tense trading session, but it does look like we're going to get a result on all of them. 12 trades placed, and at the moment just waiting for this yen to come in. So worst case scenario we've got, let's have a look. Yeah, this is really coming down now, so the US dollar really taking hold of this, as is the yen. So I think these are all going to come in, but even if the yen trades don't, we'll be in a good position. Right, here we go. It really is dropping like a stone now on all of them. So they're all following suit, so this will be back in the money for us. So I'm confident now that all of these are going to come in. Now we can see. So hopefully you're all in a similar position where these are either in the green or heading very firmly towards the green now. So if anyone can confirm that and give me some feedback, if you can get enough breath to type, then I'd be grateful. The feedback's really good for me. Yeah, so hopefully it's looking good for you now, Barak, and hopefully everyone 2 out of 3 in the green. Yeah, so definitely heading in the right direction now. So I took a chance on that because it was by no means certain, but I just had a feeling that that the pound was going to weaken after we didn't see it gain on opening, and it's taken a little while to do that. In fact, almost the entirety of our trades to do that, but it has done it, and it looks like it's getting towards a point where they'll all be in the green. It's only our yen trades at the moment that's still on. We've got another 4 minutes on these. So we just need it to carry on down. Worst case scenario, we're going to drop one. Just having a look. 2, 3 of our trades. So we'll be hitting 9 of 12, which would do me. That means that we've got, just having a look. So 9 would be somewhere in the region of 400 minus the 100, so we'll still be looking at around a $300 profit, less the ones that don't come in, these yen ones that look likely to, well, they're the ones that have the most chance of not coming in. So it should be a very good result. It'll be a clear $300. Good stuff, Raphael. So it should be a $300 start to the day. I'm more than happy with that. Quite tense as well. That's what trading is all about. Sometimes your heart is in your mouth, literally. And yeah, we're now in a position where it doesn't look like this yen is going to weaken enough to bring our trades in, but it certainly has against the others. So should be a good result for us. So just scrolling through, having a look here. Yeah, so that yen trade is the only one that looks possible to not to creep in. The other ones look very good for us. GBP now creeping up against the CHF, but these other ones are still dropping the yen, so I'm just going to keep an eye on this until close of play. The other ones look okay. Yeah, there it goes. And there it goes. Yeah, and there's the signals confirming that. That's good news. So that JPY is in as well. So it looks like we might get 12 out of 12 here. They're all in the green. Even the CHF, which looks like it might not at the moment, but they are all in the green now. So that would mean, let's have a look here, that would mean we're looking at somewhere in the region of, well, it'll be in excess of $500 profit for this session if all of these come in. So I'll be chuffed to bits with that after the start we had to those trades, the uncertain start. But it just demonstrates that sticking to your decision is really important a lot of the time, because it can look like it's going away from you. If you stick with it, if it doesn't pan out, then you have to cut those losses. But I do believe in sticking to your decision rather than trying to change it and go back on yourself, because you'll find you'll keep swapping. I did this yesterday in the webinar, people saw it, and it's a very easy trap to fall into. But your self-control has to sort of take over and say, well, I'm not getting anywhere here, cut your losses. But if you hold on to them, often you'll find they'll come your way in the duration of the trade. And that's another reason why the length of trade is so important. Okay, so we're just coming up to, here we go, it's dropping again. So this is just going to confirm all of these for us. So let's just keep an eye on this. The CHF just going into the red there, but the other one's looking good. We are 4 seconds away, and just want to have a look. There we go. So they've expired. So let's just have a look here at what results we've got. It's not showing my results yet, so go back to open positions. I'm going to go through these and just show you the expired positions if I can. Sometimes the brokers time out so you can't see them. Let's just see what we've got. That's from, so the GBP CHF didn't come in, but the other two did. So we've got 2 wins there. Does that mean that the GBP CHF didn't come in on all of them? I wonder. Indeed, it just crept out. Who'd have thought that? So in fact, it was the one that we were most certain of that didn't come in. That still means we're going to hit 8 out of 12, I think. So we'll just have a look. In fact, we may have a result on some of these CHF. Unbelievable that. Unbelievable that the CHF didn't come in on any of those. I feel quite cheated on that because it was so. Your GBP CHF came in. Well, I'm really happy about that. As you can see, mine didn't. It doesn't matter too much. I think we're in a pretty good position. Yeah, so my GBP CHF didn't come in, but all the others did. So let's round that up. We've got 8 times my, so it's 360 minus. So we ended up somewhere around $180 in profit. So a real shame, because just those 4 that looked certain to come in crept out, yeah, by 4 pips, absolutely. So just slight difference on the timing that's worked in your favour. Look, thanks for joining me. It's been interesting, very interesting webinar. I hope you've all enjoyed it, and I certainly have. You know, we are in profit. Not bad at all, considering how that all panned out. So thanks for joining me. It's been an interesting one. I'll look forward to seeing you again this afternoon, where we're going to be looking at the Canadian GDP and the US preliminary GDP figures when they're released. So I look forward to seeing you then. Thanks again for joining me.